What do we have here? Let's just take a look. Oh, it's a little chicken sketch. What do we got? Well, yeah. There. Springs. Bolt. What's that? A rat trap? What's going on here? And the last thing, a couple little set screws. And then we got an ice chest. What are we doing here at Ox Tools? Well, what we're doing is we're getting ready to trap us a big rat. And that rat happens to be a gentleman named A-Bomb79. So Uncle Adam is going to be the victim of a practical joke. And this is my yearly April Fool's video. And if you're watching this, it's April 1st. And if you're really lucky, Adam has already put up his video on the result of this pile of parts here. So what we're going to do here is we are going to make a practical joke that we're going to send to Adam. And it involves this rat trap and these cans of silly string and some other miscellaneous parts. So stay tuned, and we'll let you in on the party here, and hopefully we make a good gag here. Alright, so this is the main part of the mechanism here, and this is going to provide the power for our little practical joke here. This is just a cheap rat trap. Notice the name here, I thought that was kind of appropriate. So let's discombobulate it here for a second, and that kind of disarms it so you don't wound yourself. So the general idea here, I have this guy here. What we're going to do is we're going to mount a can like so, with the nozzle appropriately pointed, like so. And this is going to get mounted to our rat trap. And the idea here, and this is what I've been thinking about, is when our victim, the big Florida rat, A-Bomb79, opens the ice chest, this is going to pop up, and simultaneously our spray is going to start here. And that's the gag. So we're going to build this mechanical device that holds this, has a trigger mechanism, and all fits inside the ice chest. So let's. I've got a general plan, and so we can go ahead and start. I think the first step here in this situation is I want to mount this backing plate. And this is just a commercial pipe. It's for securing pipes not 80/20, but to Unistrut and stuff like that. So now this is a little heavy. I might pop a couple holes in that to get some weight out of that, but we're going to weld that on there. I'm just going to put a couple of tack welds on there, and then when Mr. Rat Trap is cocked, there'll be a trigger mechanism that holds this down, and then, yeah, don't put your hand there, dopey, and bam, it's gonna pop open, and our can will come up and face the music. All right, so I think here. So I'm gonna change this. So I'll pop this off, And let's see. Actually, I can probably just take this out. Yep, like so. I'm not going to need that part of the stock trigger mechanism, so we can get that out of there. Let's see, how's this? Oh, okay, I see. All right, so that's the. Since I'm not that smart, I'm going to line up those parts so I can remember how that was set. Okay, we don't need that. And then that's coming off. That's our second one. Okay, and then we're going to be on this side. All right, set that aside. So I think I'll go mill a hole in that, and just like I said, just to get some weight out of that sucker, and then we're going to put it on like this, and then there'll be a little extension rod that comes out here that's part of the trigger mechanism that I've kind of devised for that. So let me go do that. Okay. Okay, let's get the pop rivet gun. Let's see how it be. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to put some witness lines on here. I want to put 3 equally spaced set screws on this. So I'm going to use kind of a different little technique here. I'm going to use the tip of this, excuse me, the tip of this blade to put a scratch on here. But what I want to do is I want to index this 120 degrees, right? Which with a 6 jaw is not too difficult. But we're going to use this as our, this little level here is our indicator up here. And this is actually a very simple and pretty sensitive test if you have a decent level. I don't want to stick my head in the camera. Right there, okay. And I'll come in about, I don't know, 5 thousandths or something like that. And then I'm just going to come up, let's go up to 1/4 of an inch. Like that. Let's see if I got a line. Nope, I got to go in a little more. There it goes. All right, so actually I'm just going to go to 140 because my set screw hole is at an 1/8 inch. All right, so then I'm going to go 1, 2, and I'll do the next one. And I'll index this. And you can see that, I don't know if you can see, to get this centered up, they're pretty small movement. So it's a pretty sensitive, gotta pay attention here. There we go, 140, and then 1, 2. A pretty sensitive indexing. And since this is a cutaway, I have 2 edges, so it behaves like a flat. So it behaves like a flat, so the level can sit there, okay? This should be our last one. The only flaw with the system is if you forget to take that off, you drop your level. So there you can see a little mark. So now I can just flip-flop it in the vise on the mill and just use a pointer to pick that up, and I don't have to put an indexer up there for what we're doing on this. For this little job, this will be quite nice. All right, so we just drilled one hole there on one of our index marks, so we're going to drill another one. I'll show you how this kind of goes. So I'm up against the stop here, right, for X, and then I'm up against this for Y. So I'm just going to rotate this around, and there's my mark. Hopefully, yeah, you guys can see that. So I'm in the middle of the material, so all I have to do is rotate this until my pointer lines up with that line, and then I just kind of snug the vise a little bit, and I'm there. So that's actually a fairly accurate index. A simple way to do an index that happens to correspond to your chuck jaw. Okay. Now, this being a plastic part here, and kind of a small thread, I'll probably just kick it in neutral here and kind of hand do this. There's always a chance if you're going fast or whatever that you'll pull the thread out inadvertently. So if you're worried about that, you just do it by hand. All right, there it is, and I got one more to go, I think. Let's see where, yep, there it is, one more. So I'm not going to show it all. I'll just show you the finished thing. 860, I think. That's half. Okay, close enough. All right, so that's that direction. I'm gonna cut halfway through. And then here, what I'll do here, I'll just come up, put that under there. Actually, you know what? I can do this. I'll just come, yeah. It didn't feel very good. Closer. Good thing it's not spinning, right? I kind of want it right on that. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Making a little noise, but okay. Actually, maybe I'll bump it up a thou. Couple thou. Okay. All right. Low range. Sure, why not? There it is. It's just what I wanted. Perfect. There it is. Okay, so I think, okay. Big trouble. All right, guys. Here's the completed device. We're ready for an actual full-scale test here. But let's open it up and talk about some of the features. So it's not going to go off. I got on this side, I got a little safety pin here too that'll get removed kind of right at the last bit. But like I said, it's not loaded and cocked right now. But there's the gadget in there, and you can kind of see some of the bits. So actually, let me pull this safety pin out of there. So we got our Tomcat Wrap Trap, and which spring loads the can in. This is a can holder, and this is a can actuator here. We have a rotary trigger mechanism with a little sear, in fact, to make it real durable and so that it'll survive transport. This is the actual business end here, and this gets connected via, when we're arming it with a little hook pin, we can reach under there and lock this when we close the lid for the last time. So let's, I'm going to release it here. So that releases it. Now it can come up, okay. Let's see, make sure I got it all in here. Let me get a little closer there. Okay, as it comes up, now we also have a safety pin here in the can actuator. It catches this little bracket as it comes up, which trips that little guy right there, and then that's the firing position there. Okay, where the stuff comes out, whichever way I want to point it. And so ideally, the victim is, oops. Is like this, and they go, oh hey look, and they get the stuff right on them. So that's kind of the how the mechanism works here. So let's see, maybe you can see this trigger a little bit better here. And so it's got a little arm here, and then we get a little rotary bit, and you saw me milling on that. And there's our little sear engagement, and this gets pushed down, and that keeps that from rotating. And that's actually very firm, and this has got some tension on it here so that it stays down. I could even spring load it down. It's that, I have this much, I have lots of leverage against that sear there, so You know, I could even spring load it down so that it survives, you know, this kind of ride. And so without further screwing around, we'll do a test. This can is nearly empty, or empty, and so what I'll do is I'll cock I'll reattach the torsion springs to the mouse trap, or the rat trap. The rat trap, and then we'll load it up, and then we'll do an actual on-camera dry test and make sure everything functions properly, and then maybe we'll put a fresh can in and do it again. Okay, so let me do that. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I think we're ready for a full-scale test here. Let's go for it. Let's see how this thing works. So, okay. So that's the main trigger. Probably work better. And that's the trigger for the can actuator. I got a fresh can in there, and I'm going to close that up. And you guys can see that I got some junk in the bottom to kind of weight it, you know. But it's pretty durable. Alright. Now there's this is the safety pin coming out. So now it's like totally armed. So, get that out of the way. The idea is to get a position so that Adam's standing in front of it this way. You know, it doesn't work so good when it's here because it's going to come up sideways, right? So when he films there, he usually sets his camera kind of where I have this one here, and he kind of sits at the bench here and looks up at the camera to his right. So I'm hoping that that's kind of the attitude that it'll be sitting in. So anyway, here we go. We're going to try it out. It's one thing that the little latch is a little bit... Oh, yep, that works. You know what? I knew it was going to come out, and it still scared me, okay? So, it still scared me. Purple rug. I don't think this is non-staining, you know. Now, I don't think I'd want that in my eye, so I have one last trick left to get Adam to put some glasses on. All right, guys, looks like it works. Time to pack it up and send it to Florida.